Hey there. So I have a great case study for you. We listed our own house this week. That's right. In the middle of this wonky market, we put a house on the market. So there you go. We've been planning it for a while. Followed my own advice. List when you need to list, sell when you need to sell, buy when you need to buy. Unfortunately, a lot of buyers are sitting on the sidelines waiting for some kind of crash. I still don't think there's a crash coming. I know it seems like a crazy time to list. A lot of people are listing. There's so much inventory. I think a lot of sellers are concerned the prices are going to continue to drop, so they want to sell now. Buyers, meanwhile, are sitting on the sidelines, and there's a bit of a gap between, what buyers want to pay and what sellers want to get. Sellers are having to adjust to this really hard pill to swallow that if they sold in February, even we had listed in February, we probably would have got the price that we're going to get now without having spent money on the improvements that we made, right? So that's a tough pill to swallow. You're seeing people that probably could have got maybe 50, 100K more for their house a few months ago. So if, as a seller, you're thinking, oh my goodness, I could have got 100K more for my house 2 months ago, and now I'm going to have to take 100K less than I would have got then, that's a tough pill to swallow. But if you put it in the context of the fact that, 2 years ago, you would have got 200K less, it's maybe not as hard to swallow. But we're all kind of adjusting and trying to figure things out, and there's so much uncertainty. So it's very understandable that there's a lot of just indecision and lack of confidence in the market right now. Let's put it at that. It's a weird thing. Prices are going up at the same time as they're going down. So we're seeing deceleration. It's sort of like, imagine you're going down the highway 80 kilometers an hour and you see a cop and you slow right down. You're still, going at a good clip, but you've slowed down and until you sort of feel safer to speed up again. That's kind of what's happening in the market right now. So the last 2 years, we've seen an unprecedented rise in prices. So we couldn't sustain that. And now we're seeing a pretty significant drop initially. And then my prediction is that things are kind of going to just stay steady and buyers and sellers are going to kind of battle it out in the market for a few months while things remain quiet. Sellers still reaching for those February prices, buyers sitting back and waiting for prices to drop. So I'm out there with the rest of the sellers trying to gauge what's going on in the market. And I got to tell you, I told many friends and family when we were about to list that this is probably the most unsure I've been about a listing, putting it out to market. And it's my own. So that just gives you an idea of how uncertain we are out there in the market. Anyone who tells you differently is probably not telling you the truth, because none of us can predict what's going to happen. But if you look at historically how things have happened if you look at 2017, for example, you see an almost identical uptick early in the year, crazy year-over-year price increase. Then things sort of really slowed down through the summer months into September, and then they started to kind of flatten out until 2018, and then towards the end of 2018, we started seeing that uptick again, and then until 2020 when things went crazy with COVID and prices rose dramatically. So housing does tend to recover. I'm concerned about a lot of these construction upstarts that are canceling, that we're we're already low in supply. A lot of these pre-construction projects were done at pre-COVID building prices and pre-COVID sales. So now how are they going to manage to make a profit on these things, right? So, and we've seen a bunch of cancellations. So I'm worried that's going to affect supply. We've got millennials pouring into the market, wanting to buy. We've got immigration figures coming back up. Those people are going to be wanting to buy houses. So I have a feeling that supply is going to continue to be our issue going forward. So we will see. I think that we have a really great product and that we are fairly priced. But this market, who knows? Buyers are definitely sitting on the sidelines, taking their time, considering, hopefully waiting for prices to fall a little bit more. Will they? I am not sure. So that's going to make it extra hard for sellers to get noticed in the marketplace. So we're back to that kind of market. Remember when listings used to sit for 2 or 3, 4, up to 6 months before they got sold. So we just had 2 years of none of that, and it's amazing how quickly we forget. for the sake of simple math, say you were worth 400 before the pandemic and 2019, 2020. And prices have gone up about 30%. So at the peak in February, you were worth 520, say. So now we've dropped 7, let's even say 10% since then. So then you're down 50,000, 52,000. So then you're down to 475. That's still a gain of $75,000 in 2 years on a $400,000 house. Not a bad ROI. So maybe you're not winning the big lottery prize, but you're winning second prize. What do I always say? Timing the market will make you crazy. So sell when you need to sell, buy when you need to buy. But for sure, if you're a buyer right now, you definitely have more choice and prices are down a little bit. And if you're a seller, yes, you are going to have to accept less than maybe if you had listed in February. But if you're buying in the same market, you're also going to be paying less and you're going to have more choice. So unless you bought in the last couple of years and have to sell right away, or you thought you were going to flip, not a good time to be doing that. The quick turnaround, buying and selling in the last couple of years, not a good idea. But if you bought before the pre-pandemic and you're selling now, you may have to take a hit from the peak prices in February, but you're still way above the market value that you would have got just 2 years ago. Hey there. So I have a great case study for you. We listed our